by the way. So when these are gone, there is no back order, there is no wait list, there is no extended delivery, there is no reorder. I always love to order him around when he's in my show. Not really. I love him, of course, the magnificent Chad Allen. And Chad, you know I'm a super fan of this. And if it only repelled spiders. By the way, if you read the reviews, a lot of people say that it repels other things, but because laboratory testing is so expensive, it was a big deal when we could even go through, you know, the biggest offenders in terms of pests. Chad, if people haven't seen this, let's talk about the technology and how it compares and why I really want and why I really need this tonight.
You got it, Shannon. Hi, everybody. Hi, Shannon. Welcome to my home. I couldn't be more thrilled to be here, maybe on a different subject than pest repellent, but, you know, we all need to take care of those things in our home, right? And so Bell & Howell, a legacy company that's been in business over 110 years, brought this item to HSN over a decade ago, a version of this. This is the upgraded version, which I'll get to in just a second, but a version of this, and we continue to sell this version 10 years later. So this is that upgraded version right off the top. That's not only going to be ultrasonic, but electromagnetic. Look right here. When you plug it in, it's actually working inside the wall for the first time ever, inside the wall, as well as out into the room, because we've all used to see pest repellers like this. We still sell these here at the network. They're a great item. We usually offer you a 6, an 8, or a 10 pack, and these send an ultrasonic sound out into the room that pests do not like to hear. We imagine it sounds like nails on a chalkboard that are like we want to get out of the room, and that's exactly what the big five want to do. The mice, the rats, the ants, the roaches, and the spider. They don't want to be in the same room as these. It will not kill them. It is it's a humane way to get rid of your pest. But these right here, these big boys right here, work with the wiring of your home. So they send out the ultrasonic sound, but then they also send what we call, right up there on your screen, electromagnetic. Electromagnetic. That's going to send a pulse through the wiring of your wall to drive them out. Do you remember, Shannon, remember in the cartoons where they would have a little door on the wall and the mouse would come out of the door and they would say, "Hi, everybody." That's real life. Mice, rats, ants, roaches, spiders, they really do live inside the walls of our home. So by having that 1-2 punch, I call it the 1-2 punch of the ultrasonic and the electromagnetic, you are bound to never have to worry about the mice, the rats, the ants, the roaches, or the spiders again, because Shannon, you are so right. Bell & Howell did testing, sure. HSN did testing, but we said we might be biased. So we hired a third party, independent laboratory to test for those 5 right there, and we had to pay per pest. So maybe it works on more. It's not tested that way, but we know for sure the mice, the rats, the ants, the roaches, and the spiders will go away. Don't expect them to go away in the first 5 minutes of plugging it in. That's one of the big keys to this. You may see them actually trying to scurry out a door, out a window. They don't want to be in the same room, and that's the big news, Shannon. So the other thing is, why do you only get 2? That's one of the questions I get. Why we used to offer 8 or 10, and Shannon, I know you know this because you've been around long enough, like I have, to know why there's only 2, and it's because of the technology that's built in. It's 1 per floor, upstairs, downstairs. If you live in a long ranch-style home, it's either side of the ranch. If you have a 1-story home in the basement, it's the first floor in the basement or the first floor in the attic. You only need 1 per floor, Shannon, because of the electromagnetic. But my friend, it's just picking a color. That's just the vanity of it. They all work exactly the same.
It does indeed. And let me just put it to you this way. This is only the 3rd show, and we've already sold over 2,000 of these, which I will tell you, that's well over 1/3 of the existing quantity. At this point, there is no well, not at this point. We already know what has been ordered for beyond the season here at HSN. So you're looking at it. No back order, no wait list, no reorder. And listen, I look at it this way. You have nothing to lose but the pests. And I'm telling you what, just like they say with spring, love is in the air. Honey, they'd rather be in your house than in the great outdoors. But this makes it intolerable. Independent laboratory testing for the mice. They don't want to be in your house now. The roaches, the rats, the spiders, the ants, with no poison, no carcass, no bait, no trap. The other thing is you're not advertising that you have a pest problem. I'll just tell you right now, if you're using this in a retail environment, or maybe it is that storage shed, that storage locker, that barn, we get testimonials all the time for people who have livestock. And where there's livestock, you better believe there's bugs, there's pests at bay. Help protect them, help protect you. And not only that, do it for a price that we just don't offer. This is the Rolls Royce. Like Chad was showing you, we have sold other models of Bell & Howell. This is the best. I'll just tell you that right now. This is the best because it has what I call that force field technology that we know and love from Bell & Howell. But remember, it goes through the wiring of your home as well. Don't block it. Don't put, a refrigerator, as I did one time, in front of it. You want to make sure that it has its ability to have that force field at bay. And then you just pick the gray, the white, or the taupe. Here's what I want you to do, though. Final call, final quantities. They could easily go in this show. 30-day return policy. And like Chad said, give it a hot second. Give it a moment to work. But you got pests, and that has no reflection of how often you clean. It has no reflection on you. It's just, it's like death, taxes, and bugs, basically. They're going to happen. What do you have to lose? Even if you are paying an exterminator or whatever, plug it in. If you can plug in a curling iron, if you can plug in a toaster, guess what? You're keeping them out of your house. You're deterring them out of your house. So it's not like a rat that, eats some poison, then dies in the refrigerator or in the air conditioning coils, or a mouse that crawls up into the sofa cushions and then what's that smell? Don't you want to see how much better, how much more effective this can be? And remember, that is independent laboratory testing. So that's just what Bell & Howell upped the ante. They went to a lab, scientific testing. That's what they paid for, because those are the biggest offenders. But if you read those reviews, we get lots of reviews that this actually assists with other pests. Chad, obviously you can tell I am such a fan of this. And you know the story, Lou knows the story. Before I got this, and all God's creatures have their purpose in life in some way, shape, or form, but I'm very allergic to insect bites, but spider bites in particular. And spiders especially, they have a great plan in, God's universe, but they love my house and they love my lily white skin. So I have had to go to the emergency room a couple of different times here in Florida because of major, reactions. And and that's why I say, they have God's purpose in life. They just don't need to be in their house. They can do their business as long as they do it in the great outdoors. And this keeps them out of my house, doesn't it?
It sure does. And that's what whether you're maybe allergic to a bug bite or not, a lot of us have that same thought. I mean, you're not alone, Shannon. I'm not alone either. I know that because I read the reviews, and we want to get rid of the pests in a humane way. We just don't want to live with them. I get it. I understand. Trust me. And this is a great solution to this, right? This is one bucket, and all these things repel or kill the same thing: ants and roaches. Ants and roaches. All four of these things are just ants and roaches. When normally Lou Caputo's on with this, and he has several buckets, right? Because ants and roaches, mice and rats, and then we show you an empty bucket because there's nothing. There is no spray that actually will eliminate spiders. There might be a spray that aggravates spiders, but they don't kill them and they don't go away, right? And there's one thing I don't want in my house for sure. I might be fine with an ant. I'm not fine with a spider. That is certain. So get these today. They just plug in. I'll show you how they work. How do you install it? Right here, I have a plug. I brought the plug to me, obviously. And on the very back is just a two-pronged plug. You don't even need a fancy plug. You don't need a special electrician to come and wire something so that these work. Nothing like that. All you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to plug it in. That's it. And even on one of them, Shannon, you're still going to have the extra outlet on the side. So you're not even losing an outlet. So you're getting two. There's an ultrasonic sound wave coming out of these that you will not hear. Your husband won't hear, your wife won't hear, your daughter, your son. No human will hear this, no dog, no cat, no fish. They won't hear it at all, no baby. The only person, the only pest that can hear this are mice, rats, ants, roaches, spider, the tiny creatures, the tiny things we don't want in our home. Now, I will say, if you are somebody in your home and you like to keep a gerbil or a hamster or a ferret in the rodent category of animals, just don't put this in the same room and you're completely fine. You just don't want your gerbil to hear that ultrasonic sound, but your husband won't hear it, you won't hear it. There's not even like a vibration. Some people think that, oh, well, do I hear a humming noise? Is that what I'm going to? No, you're going to hear absolutely nothing. We know they work, though, because there's ultrasonic leak detectors that we use and ultrasonic sound detectors that we use. And how do you know that it works without having that equipment is that you're going to notice the flashing lights. There's a green one and a red one, one for the ultrasonic and one for the electromagnetic, and that's how you know they continue to work. And that's a big question people ask, well, how do I know to replace it? Well, I'm 10 years in, literally 10 years in on my traditional pest repellers, and it still blinks, it still works. And I have zero spiders, zero ants, zero mice, zero rats. And the electromagnetic is that next step to get them out of your wall, because maybe you live in a residential building, a condo, an apartment, and you have neighbors, right? You guys share a wall, right? New construction, you dig up the ground, the pests want to get in, they go into the wall, it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter. Those pests, that roach on the ground right there, wants to be comfortable, just like you. It knows the temperature of hot or cold. And Shannon, the big news tonight is that you don't need 10. We're not going to stand here and ask you to pick up 2 or 3 sets to put them in every room of your home. We're not going to do that. This is the one you only see here or anywhere. Actually, this is exclusive, by the way. You only see this once or twice a year because we just can't get our hands on these like we'd like to, Shannon. We talked about that a little earlier. Now these, the regular ultrasonic, you'll see these on the network. They're great. They're perfect. They work great. However, they don't work in your walls like these do. In this, you just need 2 because remember, it's 1 per floor. Upstairs, downstairs, basement, main floor, both ends. If you have just a 1-story ranch home like my parents do, they have one on either end of the home, and all you do is plug it in. No filter, no fragrance, nothing like that.
It's genius. And you know, it's amazing. Like if you saw a pest or an extermination company running an ad, hey, for $38.45, we'll give you a lifetime of protection on your home. You'd call every person that you know. It's like, you aren't going to believe this. There's an extermination company. They say for less than $40, they can protect your home forever. That's after the fact. That would still be after the fact. So at least do yourselves a favor and get this at home. And we are well into final quantities here. Just to remember, we sell other Bell & Howells. You may have even seen, you know, as seen on TV, these other pest repelling systems. Bell & Howell is an Academy Award-winning company. They did the vetting. They did the independent scientific laboratory testing. And I have to make that very, very clear. Because if you've tried somebody else's brand, listen, I go to the drugstore. Nobody likes to shop like Shannon, as we all know. So trust me, I've seen other companies trying to duplicate this technology. We don't even have this technology. This is the best one that we make. Yes, independently vetted, legal laboratory testing for mice, for rats, for ants, for roaches, for spiders, 30-day return policy. Final quantities, you have to understand there is no back order, there is no wait list, there is no extended delivery. Even if you're doing something else, at least do this and then just pick your color of choice, the gray, the white, or that taupe. Any way you stack it, the white is already the most limited. Okay, all right, we brought in 2,800, there are fewer than 1,000. It's interesting, I saw Marlo earlier. Marlo was talking about getting the white because the outlets in her home are white. So I actually have the taupe upstairs. Actually, it's the older ones in my home. I actually upgrade to this right now because remember, this is the one, this is the best that they make. I can't say it any better than that. So definitely do it and listen, whether it's just any one of the category of pests that they tested for, whether you're allergic to spider bites like I am, if it's just the inconvenience or the annoyance of ants in your dog dish, I mean, if the ants are like, you know, congregating around, you know, the kitty litter, congregating around the moist cat food, that's what used to happen in my house all the time. And then I, at one point, had a cat dish where it was like a little moat, Chad, where it was like literally you put the cat food like in the moat and then you put water around around the moat. And, you know, I don't care if it's an old construction, a new construction, nobody wants pests in their house. Nobody wants chemicals in their house, but doggone it, we don't want to deal with a carcass. We don't want to deal with chemicals. We don't want to deal with fees. This is the ultimate way to go, isn't it?
It sure is. And if you use the chemicals, the sprays, the poison, our producer, Steve, and I were just sort of chatting behind the scenes here in my ear. He's so right. When you use these, you actually have to clean up the carcasses. That dead rat, that dead mouse, that dead ant, you have to get rid of it, right? And we don't want to do that at all. With this, all we're asking you to do is try it. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking you to believe us on the third party, independent, laboratory tested. The scientists went to work. Just get it home and try it. If after a couple of weeks you have ants, or you're going to send it back. That's not what Bell & Howell does. Bell & Howell is a legacy company. They've been on over 110 years. You can trust them. You can trust Shannon. But all you have to do is plug it in. And remember, when you get them home, no matter what color, it's just one per floor.
Yeah.
Finally, just one per floor. Not one per room, one per floor, Shannon.
Well, nothing to replace, nothing. You know what? At least get them at home. But if you're going to do that white, you need to do it now. We're in the final couple hundred. No back order, no wait list, nada. Chad, always a treat to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend, Shannon. I'll see you, I think, Monday.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Thank you, Chad. All right, do keep calling. We'll let you know when these are completely gone. Well, the white for sure. We're in the final couple hundred there. Well, we have